My name is Lika, and here are some things I noticed in my first week in Korea. First thing, means of payment. In Europe, I'm from Europe, we often use our debit card and not our credit card. But here in Korea, from what I've noticed, the most preferred sense of payment or use of payment is cash after like credit card, especially when you go to like smaller places like street, like little stores on the side of the street. I feel like a lot of them would prefer cash over credit card just because it's easier for them. The people. I've had, I wouldn't necessarily say bad experiences so far, but I've had some experiences. Most people in Korea have been really nice to me and really supportive and just generally speaking really great. But there has been a... But you're foreign. And people can see that you're foreign and they will stare at you. If you're just walking down the street, even if you don't like, you're just walking down the street, you're gonna go to like a supermarket or something, people will stare at you. Like, it's not necessarily bad staring, but you're different and they will in fact stare at you. Like I said, it's not always a strange thing, but I think if you're coming to Korea, it is a thing to be aware of. Obviously, if you've watched other videos about coming to Korea, about living in Korea, I'm pretty sure they have mentioned this as well. But it's just... it's not bad. But if you really don't like people staring at you or taking side glances at you, and you're obviously foreign or at least not Asian looking, I will be prepared, or like, just be prepared for that, because people will in fact stare at you. Fun times. And then the next thing is the only really bad experience I've had up until now, is that when I go into a store, either by myself or with another friend who is also foreign, if we go into a store, the people within the store, the people who work there, they will follow us around. Like, they try to be subtle about it, but like first, when you come in, they watch you. And like, I don't mean like, you know, oh hi, how you doing, kind of, but like, they stare, they keep an eye on you. That's basically what they are doing. Which generally speaking I don't really care, but then at one point, if you take a bit too long or if you whatever, then one of the people from the store will come towards you and they will ask you like, do you need something, can I help with something? And then if you say something like, no, I'm fine, I'm just looking around, then they don't go away. People will, like, once they ask you, they will stick close to you and they will try to pretend like they're doing something. Like, all of a sudden something on the shelves needs to be fixed or something. Like, they start rearranging everything really. Just, it can be a bit annoying. I'm not really that offended by it. Like, and I kind of expected it a bit, because I watched quite a lot of videos before coming here. But yeah, it's unnerving. It's kind of like they're chasing you out of the store. They're either pressuring you to buy something, or you feel like you're chased out of the store, because they will actually follow you around. Like, I actually went to a store today, and it wasn't like that bad, but I was with a Korean friend, so I think that might have helped. But still, it's something that happens quite a bit. If you go alone or with a friend that's also a foreigner, people will in fact, or the people who work at the store will stick close to you. And like I said, for me that's not such a big deal. I'm just like, it's a bit annoying, because like let me allow me the time to see if I want to buy this. At most stores, I mean not most actually, a couple of stores actually, a couple of stores, they have the English translation underneath the Korean name of the product. So like sometimes you just kind of squinting at the small letters on the bottom of the tag. It takes a while, and then people come stand next to you, and then it kind of feels rushed, so you're just like, okay, I'll just go. There have also been some really, really great people. Like, most people are really nice. Like, the only thing that most people do is just kind of stare at you when you come in or you walk the street or something, which isn't really that bad, because besides that, they don't say anything. But they're also very helpful. Like, most people are willing to help, but you have to know who to ask. For example, generally speaking, don't go to older people. And by that I really mean like 50 plus people. Because they are a bit less likely to either know English or to be willing to help somebody foreign. So if you do need help on the street, I would advise you to go to a teenager, like maybe a young adult. The first time I had to ask for help, I went to a young mother. Because like, she looked really young, but she did have 2 children, so. But when I went up to her, I was like, oh, excuse me, because I was looking for the supermarket. But instead of saying anything, she kind of pushed her daughter towards me, because I guess that her daughter gets English or something at school. And I didn't really want to bother her. I was gonna ask if there's like a supermarket nearby, so I just said, supermarket? And her daughter just kind of pointed like that way, and I was like, oh, okay, bye, thank you. Like, no, think about who you're approaching the street. Then there have been people, like the other day in a convenience store, I went to buy some juice, and I only had this really big bottle of juice, really good juice. That's great. Gonna go back there again. What's peach juice? Loved it. But when I came into, like, when I went to the cashier, like the register to pay, there was nobody there because the people from the store were actually working in the store. So I was just kind of standing there with like my bottle of juice, like, please help, somebody, please help, please. And this older woman actually, like I said, there are some really, really nice people as well, like, and same goes for older women, but when actually approaching them, go for the young people. But this case, this older woman, I don't know, like 45, 50-ish, she came into the store and she noticed me standing awkwardly at the cash register with my juice. And she said something to me in Korean, and I just kind of pointed at my juice like, pay? And then she nodded and she went to the back and she called for somebody to actually help me pay. So after that I said thank you. She said something else in Korean, but I think it was something like, don't mention it. I don't know. Could be you owe me for life now, I don't know. But that was like, it's a really small thing, but for some, like, it was my first time going to a small convenience store. And if you've ever been in Korea, you know how small these convenience stores really are. And because I've already had the experience of people watching me in the stores, it just didn't really feel that comfortable. But because like she was willing to help me with that, it made me feel really a bit more chill, basically. And there was the other day, actually, I went to the supermarket again yesterday, and I'm gonna talk a bit more about the supermarket later on because that was a whole experience in itself. But I went to the supermarket and I was looking for, you know, hot chocolate powder, and I was like staring because there's, in Korea they love their coffee. They love their coffee. They really, really do. So I was just kind of staring at all the coffee like, I know the hot chocolate should be here somewhere, but where? I don't know. Really don't know. So I think I was standing there for like a proper 20 seconds just staring at everything. And then this woman who worked there, she just came up to me and she said something to me in Korean, and I took off my headphones because I was listening to music. And I was like, excuse me? And then she said, Americano? And I was like, no, hot chocolate. And then she pointed me towards the hot chocolate. But that was really nice. Really appreciate it. Woman, or like lady, miss, let's go with miss. Miss, if you're watching this, thank you so much for helping me. Small stuff like that really helps. It really, really does. Traffic, or just the amount of cars here. I don't know, like, I'm from quite a small town, I guess. So I'm not really used to that many cars, but even then my college, my university is in a big city. But even when I got here, it was just not the traffic itself, it's just the way of driving, basically. Like, I got a pickup from the airport. It was something that the people where I'm staying and my school, because I'm here to learn Korean, they organize that sometimes. If you ask for it, if you pay for it. But they got me this driver to pick me up from the airport and bring me to this place, to bring me to my apartment. And which was really great, it was really nice. But the guy didn't speak any English. So I had just traveled for almost 24 hours, like literally almost 24 hours. And I was so tired. And I had lost some of my money, or at least I thought I lost it. Turns out I just put it somewhere else on my bag But, like, she didn't speak any English. Or, like, a couple of words. Which is really not nice. Because I just wanted to ask, you know, like, just a couple of things. Just have some small talk, you know. But you can't. And then he started driving, and he was on his phone the entire. He had his phone like on his lap, on his leg, and he was looking at it, and he was partly using it for a neighbor, which is something similar like Google Maps. But then you can't really use Google Maps in Korea, but that's not important right now. I mean, you can use it, but it's not very accurate. So he was using some kind of navigation system, and that would have been fine. If it would just been that, that's fine. If you just put it on your leg, I can understand that. But he was also texting and calling, and I don't know what he was doing. But it's so insane because people here don't use their blinkers. Like, they just switch lanes, which is fine. But then I can see people on their phones the entire time, and it was kind of giving me a heart attack because please watch the road. I just got here. I don't want to die already. So that was fun. No, but like the traffic here is intense. It's a lot. Very rude. If you want to drive here, you have to be aggressive. They won't let you in. They don't just let you in between their cars. You will have to push yourself, and it's scaring the shit out of me. And I haven't driven here yet. I'm not planning on it. I'll just take public transport, or I'll walk. I'm fine. No driving. But this also is the same way when you cross the street here. There was a point. Little tip. I don't know if this is normal in other places, but in the Netherlands, you have to press a button when you want to cross the street, so that you know the light go green. Here you don't have to do that, they just do it automatically. Just thought you might not like to know that. I didn't know that. So I was just pressing the button, and these people were staring at me. And I wasn't sure if they were staring at me because I was foreign, or it was because I was pressing the button. But my Korean friend told me that it was not necessary. But yeah. So if you don't think that you have enough time to cross the street while the light is still green, don't risk it. Just don't. Because the moment it stops being green, for the go ahead to cross the road, the moment it stops being green, the traffic light for the cars switches. So it does become green. And if you're still on the road or in front of the cars, when the light becomes green, everybody will start honking at you and just start driving forward a little bit, like slowly, and it's just not fun. Like, it hasn't happened to me yet, but I've seen it happening to other people. And just don't risk it. I don't think nobody will ever actually hit you. But I think that unless you're in a hurry for the biggest promotion of your life, and even then I would not really risk it. Just leave 5 minutes earlier, because it does take a while for these pedestrian traffic lights to change from red to green again. But just don't do it. It's scary. Okay, just don't. And there are the scooters or motorcycles. I don't know what the fuck you want to call them, but they're just these delivery mans. Most of the time for food, for fast food, or not necessarily fast food, just for food. And they have a complete disregard for anything that has to do with trafficking laws. I think trafficking laws is a weird word, but they think that they don't have to listen to the rules. If there's a red line, you bet your ass that they're gonna ride right through it. They go in between cars, like zigzagging in between cars, and they even go on this sidewalk. So you can listen to music if you want. Like I mean, obviously you can listen to music. A lot of people do it, but if I was you, unless you have a sixth sense for scooters coming up behind you to hit you in the back, walk on the side of the road and keep walking there. Don't try to walk in the middle. Actually, apparently, this is something my Korean friend explained to me, is that the main reason they do that is because those delivery guys, they get paid by how fast they deliver something. So if it takes them 10 minutes to deliver something, they will get paid less than if it takes them 5 minutes or 7. So just watch out for them. If you have children, keep them close, because the scooters, they will of course never accidentally hit your child, because they're very skilled drivers, but they're scary. And if your child decides to jump on the road even though there's nobody there, there might be a scooter there in the next half second. Grocery store experience. First of all, I'd like to say that I've been to at least 2 or 3 decent sized supermarkets near my place, next to all the convenience stores that you find every 200 fucking meters. But when I really have to do some proper groceries, I like to go to the E-Mart. That's mostly because it's so huge, okay guys? And it's 2 stores though. I think that's it. So you walk in. Actually, fun fact, if you do go to that E-Mart, when you walk on the sidewalk, like there's this bank, there's the Shin Bank, Shin something bank, and then you have to walk a bit further along if you come from the same side. Like if you're front of the Shinra something bank, like facing it, then you have to go left, and then there's a little side, like like a wheelchair ramp down, and that's where the E-Mart is. I was looking for it for like 50 minutes. That's why I asked the young woman, the young parent, young mother, that one, young mother, where the supermarket was, because according to the navigation app I was there, but I had to walk a bit further and go down. I didn't know that. So when you go into the E-Mart, the first thing you will see on the left is a little coffee shop. Then on the right you can go into the actual store. There's a security guard. She doesn't, well, the one I spoke to doesn't speak English, because I had to check if my card would be valid. But she took out this translation app, which is also something that you're gonna encounter, but it isn't that bad. She just takes out this translation app, and I had to speak into it, and then she told me to ask somebody else. The first level we walked into, something really scary that really freaked me out when I first got there, was that the first level is anything but food. You can buy chairs there, you can buy cutlery there, you can buy cleaning supplies there, you can buy makeup there, you can buy shampoo, you can buy laundry detergent, you can buy washing machines. I think I've seen some of those. You can buy electrical equipment. You can buy a lot, okay guys, you can buy a shit ton. But there's no food. So I was freaking out. I was like, where's the food? Please send help. I've been living off rice and kimchi for 3 days now. I need something else. So what I did, I walked around for 5 minutes instead of going up to somebody to ask them, because you just know that they won't speak English, or the chances are that they won't speak English. So I was not gonna bother with it. So what I did was walk around for 10 minutes, And then after that I saw a sign which luckily had an English on it, which says fresh produce on the bottom. And then you go down a floor. Then you go down a floor. Which I didn't know. I was freaking out. I thought, am I going to a different store now? This is not something usual for me, okay? Don't tease me. And then that was a whole experience in itself. I was so overwhelmed. Not even funny. But then when I went down, this supermarket is so big. Like the actual food section is huge. Okay guys, you can find anything there. Okay, maybe not anything, everything, but a lot. You got a lot. So like, it is just something you have to experience for yourself. Like the first thing you see when you walk on the left side is the bakery section. In front is the wine, and then on the right there's the vegetables section, and then it kind of points itself from there. But it's really big, and there are a lot of people there, and there are a lot of people there, like older women who have like little taste samples. I haven't actually tried one of those because I don't speak English and I don't want to accidentally grab something and then turns out I have to pay for it and I don't understand what they're saying and I don't understand what I'm saying and just no. So I just kind of avoided them, like walked around them. But then I want to get some meat, right? Because I eat meat. And then I went to the meat section, and it's so weird, guys. They have fish tanks there, okay? They actually have tanks with alive fish and octopuses and crabs, and you can pick which one, like a fancy fucking restaurant. You can just say like, I want that crab for dinner tonight, and then I have no. But what you'll also see is a lot of people screaming stuff in Korean. Which is fine if you're Korean or if you can understand Korean. But I was scared, okay? I was really, really scared. I was walking there and I was like, okay, I need some chicken. I want some chicken. And then there were these people screaming. Like, apparently, from my Korean friend again, she told me that they're like selling stuff, obviously. Like, these are not just random people screaming, they're people from the store screaming. Like, you know, the sale ends today, only today. Whatever. But it's still really creepy. It's still really scary. So I wanted to go there to this corner because that's where all the like a bit more regular, like the meat I'm used to. But because they were screaming, I was like, nope, gonna go vegetarian. And like that was an experience in itself. And then I don't know, it was just insane. It was so big, and then I had to find cereals because I needed to have breakfast, and then I needed milk, and then there was so many different milks, and I didn't understand Korean, and like, what is normal milk, what's soy milk, what's low fat milk, I don't know. But the one thing that I do notice was that everything on like the little tag underneath, which says what it is and how much it costs, it also says how much calories it has. With everything in almost every store. It's something I forget. It's just something cute, something really funny. But yeah, those are the things that you might experience in your first week of being in Korea. That's what I experienced in my first week of Korea. I've been here for 8 days now, and I'm really looking forward to everything else because up until now everybody's been great. Everything's great. Most people have been great. And I'm gonna try and make more videos about it if you guys want to see if anybody who watches this ever wants to see anything else. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Even though it's my first one, I'm probably incredibly awkward with either me talking too softly, with editing problems, or whatever the fuck. But yeah, that's gotta be great. And I might see you in the next video. I don't know.